Hi, Rachel from Following in My Shoes here. And I decided to do a vlog update on going sugar free, my little sugar detox experiment that I did in October, as well as talk a little bit about my decision after it to maintain a grain free lifestyle and maybe share some tips for making those type of changes work for you. Now, as I've talked about in previous posts, I have a horrible sweet tooth, a horrible one. I think it's genetic. I'm pretty sure it is based on the way my parents are. I don't think there's anyone in my family that doesn't like sweet things. The dessert table at Thanksgiving and Christmas was always way more loaded than the savory main items and sides. And so I grew up loving those things. And as a skinny kid and skinny teenager, never was concerned about what I ate or how much junk I ate. I just ate and burned it off and looked anorexic and everyone worried about me, but I ate. I just wasn't eating good. As I got older and developed polycystic ovarian syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis, other issues, all of that junk and just feeding my body with so much sugar and processed crap, for lack of a better word, has played its toll on me. So much so that I dealt with a lot of issues that I'm not going to go into now, but a lot of things. And as I've gotten older, weight has become an issue now where it used to not be, it is now. And my body just wasn't, despite calorie counting or, making sure I was only eating whole grains and all these things, exercise, just wasn't shedding pounds. And so all of that kind of led into this decision in October to go on a sugar detox. I was trying to, one, get my love of sugar in control so that I was in charge of it and not it ruling my life. Was starting to get where I was turning to sugary sweet things when I was stressed or I was tired, and that just is not going to end well. So I wanted to get that under control, but I also wanted to get my health under control. And based on research, talking with people who know and doctors and the like, I knew that insulin plays a big part in my health issues that I have, and that dealing with sugar intake, both in the forms of actual sugars and in the form of carbohydrates like grains, that was going to be a way to combat everything that I deal with. And I've known that for a couple of years, but I put it off because I like bread, I like chocolate chips, I like all of those things. They taste good. They make my brain happy. But the time had come where I needed to be a big girl about this and not, the little kid going, I want, I want, I want. So, went through the sugar detox, and the one I chose was the 21-day sugar detox by Diane San Filippo. I have the book somewhere, and of course not within reach. Anyway, she just released a paperback and hardcover version of the book, of the program, so you can get it on Amazon now. And it worked really, really well for me. It was 21 days, which was super easy to get through. It wasn't like it was a whole month of deprivation or sticking with this very rigid, structured thing. It was 21 days, and it helped me immensely in being very intentional about what I put in my mouth and giving my body a break from just all of the sugary things that I was putting into it. Since ending the detox, I have decided that while I don't intend to be sugar free the rest of my life, I do like fruit. I think there's some benefit in that within moderation. I have decided to stay grain free. Not to the extent that I'm full on paleo, but enough that I'm not eating wheat and oats and other grains. During those 21 days, I realized that my body does work very well without those things. It was kind of a health epiphany during this, one small change movement that I was participating in. Um, I I just felt better and my body was working better, and so I've kept that up. So as far as that goes now, I've had people ask, well, what tips do you have for keeping it up? Well, first you need to understand that it's not an overnight change and you need to plan for it. You can't just wake up in the morning and go, that's it, no more this for me. You can't do that if you're talking about coffee or pop, smoking, whatever it is that you use a lot in your life and your body is used to, if not addicted to, it's going to be really hard to quit without a plan in place. So for me, that was meal planning every single thing I ate, from breakfast, lunch, dinner, um, snacks, drinks, everything. I had to have a plan for it, and I shopped for it. I prepared things ahead of time so that there were no excuses to resort to, oh, well, I don't have time this morning to make eggs. I'll just have toast instead. No, I accounted for every meal and made sure that I couldn't be lazy about it. And I think that's, if you're making a change, whether it's something big like cutting out sugar or cutting out grains, whatever the change is, you need to have a plan in place so that you can pick yourself up when you're tempted. And there's not that easy, accessible temptation out there. Another thing I think that's very key is to get family or friends involved with you. That doesn't mean that they do it with you. I think we all have our own changes we need to make life and health better for us. But you can have people on your side and you can have people on your team. For me, that was my husband. He willingly went along with the dinners that we had that for 21 days. I didn't cook two separate dinners. I made one dinner and he ate it, and without complaint, and for the most part I think enjoyed them. I think he was surprised to realize that he didn't need bread and things like that to have a good dinner. So having someone there that can help you be accountable is a must and help you, encourage you. And he definitely kept me accountable, definitely encouraged me when, especially the first week when it was hard, because it wasn't routine yet. It was still of having to remind myself every day that this is the way it was going to be. He was great at encouraging me and making sure that I wasn't giving into things. So far, meal planning for your change, and then having someone accountable for you. And the third thing I think is to give yourself some grace. It is hard to make a lifestyle change, whether it's becoming someone that exercises or quitting smoking like I've talked about, or this where you're getting rid of a vice in the food category. You need to understand that there are going to be times when you might not be as perfect as you want. And that's okay. It's not the end of the world, and it doesn't mean, well, I've messed up once, I might as well stop now. Give yourself grace to understand and accept making a mistake. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and you keep walking on that path toward a better life. It's not an automatic thing that you do. It is a journey. I am still every day having to make choices. And, there are temptations. It's been 35 days now, maybe 40 days or so that I've been doing this, and it's still hard. Is it as hard as it was the first week? No. It's a lot easier than it was then. But it's still hard. And there are times when I still might goof up, especially, I'm still trying to not eat a lot of sugar. And Halloween was last week. And my kids got candy I like. And that in the old days, I would have eaten all of it and they would have never seen it again. That's what parents do. We all do it. Don't pretend like you don't. Anyway, I've eaten a couple of pieces, but I haven't eaten all of it. And part of me was frustrated with myself afterward that I had eaten some. That was the first sugar I really had was that candy. And that I'd had all month. But you know what? 2 pieces of candy, okay. It's not the end of it all. It doesn't mean I've completely erased all the progress I've had. It doesn't mean that, well, might as well go back to eating whatever junk I want. It was one time. It's okay. You can get back and you can keep going. It doesn't have to be a complete landslide, avalanche, whatever else weather-related catastrophic event you want to compare it to. Have a plan, have an accountability partner, and have grace for yourself. Those are probably, I think, the biggest things that you need to have in place when you're making any type of change, big or small. If you have any more questions for me, tips, you can ask me on Facebook at facebook.com/followinginmyshoes is my page name there. You can tweet me on Twitter at Rachel_L. You can also follow me on Pinterest, Rachel Lacey, for everything I do there. And there's been a lot of grain-free, sugar-free recipes there lately. Not all. I do pin some of the more decadent things, but baby steps, right? Having grace. All right, thanks for listening and have a great, great day. Bye.